CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 46 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations. Last time, we did some cross-examining of Iris, and she was lying, and the snowmobile got me. The snowmobile got me. I told you the snowmobile was evil, and sure enough, it got me. Because God forbid you present the weather report when Iris is talking about the snow tracks. No, you gotta present the report during the Dusky Bridge, because Phoenix could not bridge the two together. No pun intended. Anyways, let's continue on. You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can't be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out, no matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth. You can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
No!
Order! The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, when the air temple was totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way she could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness! Even my patience has its limits. What has changed? Normally, basically, Judge sees Iris' twin sister, and he's like, "My dear, I will be patient until the end." But meanwhile, he's like, "I'm through with your crap." Like, really? Didn't know the judge basically had such a low threshold. Any further lying, and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible. CzarThwomp, stop flubbing my lines. You are embarrassing both myself and you. Is you. Old man. Wow, Diego, just start throwing out just the old man insult. Did you like it when Edgeworth was calling you old man? Me? How dare you? Whether this witness lied or not does not mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Dosnium was discovered in the Hazakura temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Dosnium's body. He makes a good point, on both accounts.
That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all last night, so my memory's still somewhat hazy.
You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, right, maybe you can explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burned down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt out bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this latest testimony isn't the truth. Ack! Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Will this be her final testimony? Moving the body.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's no way to cross a burning bridge?
So it was just a misunderstanding, I see. This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. Notice the rope. Yeah, that's right. Correcchio would be very proud to know that there is rope involved. Oh yes, Whoever this murderer is, they are a true artist. An artist of beauty.
It certainly was burnt to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires is gone. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Clearly, it would be impossible to carry a corpse across the bridge in this condition.
Dusky bridge photo added to the court record. I know that you have to present Larry's drawing, I believe, but I'm just going to press everything because I don't want to lose. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. But frankly, Godot is trying to say that Iris was the murderer. I mean, really, his priorities are just messed up, though. This is Iris's trial. This would be in Godot's worst interest. I mean, really, because it would be showing that his client's innocent, that the defendant's innocent. Right, I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors in our ways. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes. Amen to that, Phoenix.
Alright, Mr. Wright, please begin your final cross-examination.
Moving the body. You know what? I'm adventurous. I'm an adventurous boy. I'm gonna do it. Actually, no. I'm not gonna do it. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place...
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. But I did make it across somehow.
But you seemed to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally it was
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection.
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, Wright. Yes, Phoenix's graduation was a trauma for everyone. What? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Show me some evidence that this body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Well, Godot, if you want to see evidence, power of Larry! Yes, okay. I am paranoid at this point. I am legitimately paranoid because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what the game wants. Literally, I know how events play out. I could tell you pretty much everything that happens in this case, but for the sake of spoilers, I'm not. Though, basically, the game wants me to do it its way. Because the game's not Burger King, the game wants me to do it its way. A dead body flying over a burning bridge? I wouldn't exactly rule out that possibility.
What?
Ha! You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Preposterous! Preposterous!
Who is it? Who is this witness?
I can't chicken out here. I've got to keep it on the attack and go, go, go! Go, go, Phoenix Rangers! Mr. Lee Dustin's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice. Maurice Dustin.
Brilliant.
Highly gifted.
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. But the judge wasn't there. Or Larry wasn't there. That night he was at the mountain shack, Heavenly Hall. Yeah, because if Larry was there, if the judge was there, he would have been having just attacks. He would have been having a panic attack. He would be like, no, not the jokes, not the double bean enchilada. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen the sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? Because we're not doing this again, Mr. Wright. Because if it's true, I'm throwing this case out. I'm sorry. Your client's free to go. I'm not dealing with this again. You're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument?
Uh-oh, the judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Ha! Wait, right. There's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm gonna prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? It's like a snarky Mia. Why did Godot just say that?
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is gonna forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. The sketch drawn by Laurie Dursnam is exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right there in the sketch. Whoosh!
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear!
Do you have any evidence that the victim flew through the air?
Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. I built it out of a giant coffee mug that I have on my person at all times. Oh, I wish they had. Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. I think we should skip the penalty this time. There must be some way. Because it is exactly what happened! Because Larry, like you can see, Larry was lying upside down!
Alright then, the witness will now return to the testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
Come on. Oh, great! Now I get to go through this again. It all comes back to this.
I can't believe we're looking at this again.
I admit that I didn't really understand it before, but I get it now. That's why I believe the sketch shows the truth.
Very well. Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly does this sketch show?
I don't think old Whiskerface is gonna forgive any more mistakes, blah blah blah. Something is obviously funny about the sketch.
I'm not Arctic, but even I can see that.
No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Maurice Dostum saying it over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw. Yeah, I had to get that whoosh out. Phoenix saying whoosh in court. Whoosh becoming part of the court transcript. However, if we're to believe this testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it.
It contradicts reality.
Ha! This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to the finger pointing thing again. Okay, right. So what exactly contradicts reality as we know it? Basically, do not select the lady, because it's basically going to be like, no crap, Sherlock. You gotta select wire. It's this wire connected to the bridge.
The wire?
Yeah, because I got fooled by the flying lady once before. I remember that. I always remember that. Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality? It is indeed. Then show us the reality it's supposed to be conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. Easy. The bridge that Larry showed, that Godot gave us.
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes. Now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But on the actual Dusky Bridge,
Jumping Jehoshaphat!
the wires are below the guard wires! What?
Order! This sketch is somewhat different than what is depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong?
Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong. Which, with someone like Laurice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Because it's Larry. Are you saying you'll know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Maurice was doing when he witnessed the event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Larry must have been in at the time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Oh! No way. Maurice Durston witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down.
So then, the sketch should actually...
I think you're finally getting it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Maurice Durston's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge, it was actually swinging below. That's right, just like a pendulum! With straw rope! And then Correcchio, he's like, did someone mention rope? Ridiculous!
Order, order, order!
Of all the things to say, a pendulum! A pendulum killed my father tonight! The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across, but if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. Because apparently Eagle River is nothing you can throw in. I don't care if there's a cliff. You can take it to another portion and throw it off. And a pendulum was the only way it could be done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you'd need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you have to plan ahead. The lightning strike that night could only have been an accident, so it doesn't make sense that the criminal would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, the criminal... They didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of the criminal. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory. What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum? And the meaning of this is...
If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Ah! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge, it set on fire. One of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Dustin's body. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha! Glug glug glug. Yes. I'm gonna let the sounds take over. It's the sounds' duty now.
Mr. Godot!
Godot.exe has stopped working. Please stand by.
It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of a rope being readily available were very high, so I suppose that it's not an impossibility after all.
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Tonight, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Now, here, you can actually present two pieces of it. One of two pieces of it. You can either present the crystal sphere, because it fell off, or you can present Elise's autopsy report. I'm going to use the autopsy report. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see that that's the one that was in front of the temple.
So then, that was the spot where the criminal...
Yes, precisely. Now let's consider the body's movement by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point here, it it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you just say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence that suggests her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to the forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
That's...
Yes, this blood-stained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off of Miss Elise Dostim's staff. And even more important is the place where this crystal sphere was found.
Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found. Oh!
Precisely, Your Honor. In this very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with a way that the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright!
I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot?
That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Wright. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma. Huh? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma. The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffanese. Can you elaborate a bit more? If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you said, then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross the ski bridge, so who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, Wright?
Mr. Godot is correct. This can't be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then. If you please, Mr. Wright, who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura side?
Easy. It was Iris. It can only be you, Sister Iris.
But
I don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never have picked up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it. Tonight, were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath. I have forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using the sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I have established how the body was moved using the burnt-out bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No! I had no idea. I don't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing. Unless you're not really Iris to begin with. Dum dum dum!
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You're saying that the witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Are you serious? Try it! You mean this woman is? There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach during this trial. Why I've been reminded of pink sweaters and girls who do not poop. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's sitting here at the witness stand. Her real name is... Miles Edgeworth! Yes, Morgan! Dahlia, it's Dolly. I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time. Dahlia Hawthorne. Yes, Phoenix. I love how Phoenix is just so smug about this, despite the fact that Dahlia destroyed his dignity. Hawthorne. Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her. Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
Ha! It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case, 5 years ago. Mr. Wright, you were pathetic.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be in your noble presence.
The honor is all mine!
No, the honor's all mine! But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne,
We're gonna keep it going, you know.
is already dead. It says here her execution was carried out last month.
Yes, and Diego, he was just... So what? I mean, we can also mention how I had the front row seat and how I watched it by sipping my coffee cup. Death had no meaning in this courtroom.
What?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going.
Order, order, order!
Wait a moment. How can you? My sister, she's already dead. What kind of?
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of the Kurain channeling technique flows within that body.
The Kurain channeling technique? Now where have I heard that?
That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne himself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently having the body of a spirit medium. What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happens? Actually, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
What's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple. 2 of them. Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell. In other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris is seen before dinner time.
That means the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this hood in the main hall was also the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the temple, in her temple, was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne. Do you even know what you're saying tonight? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris.
What?
Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura's temple's main hall. There they found Iris in the room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. I can't deny any of that.
Phew, thank goodness. It looks like he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced that the Iris here is the same one from the other night. Ha! I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous. Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places.
Switch places? be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia. Why would Iris channel Dahlia? Literally, she would gain no benefit. Literally, it would be like channeling yourself, pretty much. It would just be like taking on your own form but losing control of your body, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazard Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
Big yes, there was one. Thank you, Edgeworth. You made Phoenix's life miserable. You made it harder. Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move around freely like that?
I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. It was just your daddy issues. The person who gave Iris the chance to move around freely was...
No, this is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake?
Earthquake! Oh my goodness, the inner temple! This kind of terrible might.
How could I have? She fled! She escaped! We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the train hall, I was met with by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now, see here. No judge's right mind would consider the idea of spirit channeling.
Be quiet. It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. I love how Godot, he's just so calm. He's like, oh, hello, here's the girl who tried to kill me, who put me in a 5-year coma. Oh, hello, how are you doing today? That's one of my rules. Also bash you on the head for putting me in a coma.
Dahlia Hawthorne, and my current profession, permanently retired.
Ha! So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh?
Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet again like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her, and for myself. I'll make her poop. Take these laxatives, Dolly. Take these laxatives. We're gonna keep this going. We're gonna keep this going. Because frankly, this is a part of the game I don't want to skip. I just want to go through Dahlia's testimony, get through her thing, and then we're gonna end it off.
Now then, let's continue where we left off, shall we? Well, witness?
Yes, how can I help you, Mr. Judge?
Well, it seems that if we're to learn the truth, we'll need to hear your testimony.
I have no problem with that. But when you've seen what I have, sometimes the truth is better left unknown.
In any case, let's hear your testimony. Tell us about the plan that was carried out that night.
This is one of those testimonies where all you gotta do is press.
The whole plan began with my death. A stupid plan hatched by Morgan Fay to install her own daughter as the next master. But for it to work, Maya Fay would first have to die. The idea was for me to kill Maya and then have the blame pin on Iris. The plan went wrong, but it seems to have succeeded anyways.
So that means you really are?
Wait a minute! Did you just say the plan was to kill Maya Fay?
Yes, you have a problem with that?
Don't give us that nonsense! There's no way that... Watch yourself tonight. If you got a problem, solve it during cross-examination. That's my rule.
Mr. Godot is correct, and by the way, that's my rule as well.
To kill Maya. Could it be true? The plan. Gabbros, everything. Everything. You were executed last month, correct?
Yes, I was hanged. It wasn't exactly pleasant.
How did you manage to discuss the plan? When did you talk with Morgan Fay?
Last year, she was transferred to the same detention center as me. Since I was on death row and she was my mother, it was actually pretty easy to meet with her.
I see. So that's when you discussed the plan.
Ha! Are you crazy? At first, that woman was planning to kill me as well. And what would that have given her? How would that benefit Morgan?
Even though I'm her own daughter.
All to make Pearl Fay the Master Crane. She's a cold, twisted woman. Yes, the point. This lets you gauge the evilness of Morgan. Literally, Dahlia Hawthorne, a woman who has killed two people, who basically killed two people, and then caused another guy to commit suicide, and then put another guy into a coma. This woman is saying that that Morgan is cold and twisted.
She thought she could finally regain her lost honor. The honor she lost when her younger sister, Misty, took her place as the master. Ever since that day, she's been working on this plan.
A plan, huh?
You're talking about Pearl Fay, is that correct?
Yes, though at first she had high hopes for the two of us.
You and your twin sister, Iris.
That's correct. Fortunately, neither of us had much spiritual power. That's why we were abandoned by her, along with our father.
Yes, this is actually much more believable. The fact that basically Morgan just threw out her husband and her two children.
Abandoned?
The only person I ever really cared about in my life was myself. My sister was a nuisance, so I convinced my father to leave her at an old temple.
You mean Iris?
Yes, my father remarried a woman who also had a daughter. The less children you have, the more money there is to go around, right? And on top of that, my father had absolutely no interest in children in general.
How horrible.
The real horrible one was that woman. That bitter, vengeful woman.
Yeah, the crab apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
It was her stubbornness that gave birth to that child, her Pearl Fay. She was born with an abundance of spiritual power, unfortunately for her. Morgan Fay heaped all of her broken hopes and dreams on that poor child's back. All because of her pathetic dreams of having her bloodline become the main family.
Maya would have to die, but why?
For our bloodline to succeed as the main family, thus making Pearl the new master, the remaining descendants of the current master had to be taken care of.
In that case, why not simply just convince Maya to move out? Just convince her to go live to just abandon the way. Just make her do a Mia. That would have been so much easier. Give her a burger. But Pearl will never agree to a plan like that. She adores Maya.
How sad. You still don't get it, do you? What Pearl's want had nothing to do with it. Morgan didn't care one bit about Pearl. The only thing she cared about was the position of the master. That's all.
That's ridiculous!
She was willing to sacrifice anything and anyone to achieve her goal. The life of her daughter. And naturally, the life of Maya Fay as well.
How could anyone do that? Phoenix, you're surprised? Morgan tried to frame Maya for murder last game. She had a guy killed! Granted, he was a deranged guy who would have probably killed a weather woman if Morgan didn't interfere, but still.
The idea was for...
Oh, yes. Sorry, read that already. You were gonna kill Maya?!
Pearl didn't need to know anything about it. All she had to do was follow the instructions in the letter and channel me. Then I would have simply used her body and finished the job.
The scary part is the thought of Dahlia and Pearl's body. Literally. With Dahlia's lack of morals and Pearl's superhuman strength, she would have just destroyed the earth. Though speaking of which, it's kind of obvious to know just the fact of who's channeling Dahlia. I mean, look at the hair color. Then I would have simply used... Oh, sorry, read that already.
In any case, I'm already dead, and there's nothing any of you can do to me.
Grrr! So the plan was to blame the crime on your younger sister, on Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple.
She and I look absolutely identical. No one can tell us apart. If someone were to witness me killing Maya, naturally they would think it was Iris who had done it.
And the witness in this case was the head nun, Sister Bikini.
I never would have guessed she was going to return to Hazagor Temple that night, but she wound up seeing Iris's crime anyways.
But why did you want to pin the murder on Iris in the first place? She's your twin sister, isn't she?
Twin sister? Don't make me laugh. She's nothing but a backstabber. I couldn't care less about her.
Backstabber?
You just don't understand. You never will. Anyways.
You think the plan was a success?
You heard me. Just as a woman had hoped. Maya Fey is dead, and the title of Master will pass on to Pearl.
That's absurd! Maya's she's just trapped inside the sacred cavern!
Really? You're as foolishly optimistic as ever, aren't you, my darling Feeny? Do you want to know the truth? Ever since we met, I've despised you. Your sniveling naivete and your pathetic faith in other people.
I just want to know one thing. What did you personally think of Morgan Fay's plan?
I told you already, didn't I? It was a stupid plan. It had no point, no value other than fulfilling her own greedy desires.
I.e. every one of your plans, Dahlia!
Yes, it was certainly nothing to be proud of.
If that's how you feel, why did you help her carry it out? Why would you do it? Why would you kill Maya?
You may not understand it, being the kind of gentle soul that you are. You may not be able to appreciate why someone like me would help a woman like that.
Literally, Phoenix, you're wondering why Dahlia would want to kill Maya, your best friend, and the sister of the woman who basically sent her to her death. So then tell me, why?
Isn't it obvious? I'm not like that woman. I only act in my own self-interest. The reason why I helped her was for myself, for my own personal satisfaction.
What'd you say?
So this
Woman, Dahlia Hawthorne. She had her own reason for why Maya dead.
Do you understand why I would kill Maya Fey now? What my goal was?
I'm saving the game because I just want to make sure. I want to be on the safe side. I want to be safe. I want to be safe. I want to be very, very safe. Ugh. Just wanted to make sure, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't like, oh, you got a president statement, and then you get to show it off, and then you get to present me his profile. Could it be that your actual goal had nothing to do with Maya Fey herself?
As I said, none of you have the power to punish me anymore, because I'm already dead. Well, I had the same problem, you see. You can't punish the dead, and you can't take revenge against them either.
You wanted to take revenge on someone?
I was sentenced to die because of that woman, and CzarThwomp has to cough. Darn you, CzarThwomp.
Okay.
Mia Fey.
I somehow knew this was it.
I wanted to send her a message. It was at her hands that I suffered my first humiliation. I wanted her to feel the same pain she made me feel. Sadly, when I realized revenge was impossible, I gave up.
And the reason... what was I doing? And the reason it was impossible? Was it perhaps because Mia Fey had already died?
Yes, and I realized there's only one way to take revenge against the dead.
And how would you do that?
Even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever. I wanted to take away the person that Mia Fey loved the most. I wanted to kill her with my own hands. That would be the only way I could take my revenge against Mia Fey. That was the reason I helped out with that woman's plans.
Just for that? For that, you would kill Maya? Your goal was no different than that of Morgan!
As they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What a cruel plan. Cruel, cold, and heartless.
Don't waste your time preaching to the dead. I've already told you, there's not a thing you can do to me.
Grr.
That night, at about 9:30 p.m., I materialized in this world. I quickly pinned up my hair up and put on a demon warring hood. Then I picked up the staff that was by my side and left Hazakura Temple.
So it was at least Dusnim who channeled her after all.
That ridiculous head nun never knows a thing. She left Maya Fey at the inner temple and wobbled back clutching her poor bag.
What'd you do then?
That kid was easier to handle than I had hoped. I caught up with her in front of the stone lantern. You monster, give me back! Then I took out the dagger I'd gotten from the storeroom and...
Dead Maya. But Maya wasn't dead. You can't kill Maya. So then you're saying you stabbed Maya?
It's strange, but I don't have a clear memory of what happened after that.
What does that mean, no clear memory?
I don't know. I think I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
At the last minute. Maya Fey must have stabbed me. I'm sure of it.
That's not like her at all. Maya would stab a french fry with a plastic fork. She would more or less she would take one of those giant forks used for meat.
Anyways, I suddenly lost consciousness. But before I did, I scrawled her name on the lantern. Just as I was passing out, I wrote Maya behind my back. I had hoped it would cast suspicion on her.
I can't believe she was thinking of that until the bitter end.
That's where my memory temporarily stops.
It stops?
I don't have any memory of actually killing Maya Fey with my own hands. My very last memory was Maya's terror-filled eyes. When I woke up after that, I was in the sacred cavern surrounded by darkness.
You were in the sacred cavern?
The entrance was sealed with only one of those trick locks. Somehow I had been trapped in there.
But how did you wind up in there?
I'd like to know that myself. Anyways, I was worried. I didn't know whether or not Maya Fey was dead, and I swore I wouldn't return to the underworld until I knew I had killed her myself.
For a ghost, you're one tough cookie.
I wanted to get out of there and make sure she was dead, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't get out of there.
The trick lock stopped you, huh?
I didn't know how to remove it.
So then you're saying you were actually confined against your will inside the sacred cavern?
Yes, I wanted to get rid of that annoying lock as soon as possible, but it wasn't easy. I kept getting interrupted while I was working on it.
Interrupted?
It was earlier that morning that someone came into the train hall.
What? Who?
Could have been Maya?
I thought the same thing, but I couldn't see.
Why not?
It's called a door, Feeny. I can't see through doors. Just like how you can't see that girls actually poop. If someone had spotted me, I would have lost my chance to take revenge. So I made sure to hide myself well at the back of the sacred cavern.
That morning, only two people could have gone into the train hall. Maya and Pearls. Pearls went in there to cover the hanging scroll and gravy.
Still, I finally managed to remove the lock, but I was too late.
What do you mean by that?
The flies had already started to gather.
The bridge had been fixed and the police had started their investigation, correct?
Naturally, I couldn't go out. So instead, I returned to the cavern and put the lock back on myself. I realized I wouldn't get a chance to see Maya's corpse as I had hoped. But just then, Lady Luck showed up.
Lady Luck?
After that big earthquake, she showed up all by herself.
The real Iris.
She said she'd come to make sure the sacred cavern was alright. Stupid girl. I came up in the sacred cavern and got a feel for the situation. And I locked her away in my place. I had finally learned exactly what had happened. It was then I learned that the plan had actually succeeded.
What do you mean your plan had succeeded?
I had misunderstood one thing, you see. That night, the one that had summoned me, I had assumed that it was Pearl Fey.
Well, of course you would have assumed that. It was written in the instructions.
But I was wrong. The person that had actually called my spirit back was Missy Fey, the picture book author.
What?
Well, that's really the only possibility, isn't it? After I had lost consciousness in the garden. It was her body that was left lying there. Maya Fey, I wasn't able to kill her with my own hands after all. But even so, I made her commit the most vile sin a human can commit.
And that is?
Making them go to the very big circus. Matricide, the sin of killing her own mother.
Ugh! No way!
Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
It's true that I was the one who attacked Maya Fey, but even so, the murderer who actually snuffed out Missy Faye's life was none other than your darling little Maya.
Ridiculous! That's nonsense!
Are you sure about that? Just think about it. There's even evidence supporting these facts, isn't there?
What? What do you mean? What is this so-called evidence?
The fact that Maya Fey has disappeared is evidence enough, isn't it?
Huh?
The idea that she's still in the sacred cavern is just ridiculous. She wasn't able to escape from the inner temple. That much is obvious. In that case, there's only one place she could be.
Where?
Do I have to spell it out? The bottom of Eagle River. Where else?
Why do they call it the Eagle River? Why not Eagle River? Thank you, Godot. Eagle River.
Maya Fey killed her long-lost mother. Can you imagine the guilt she must have felt when she realized that?
Maya didn't even know that was her mother. If Maya knew that was her mother, you think Maya would just be so casual there? No, she'd be like,
"Where were you, Mom? You owe me bug of money." That's why she threw herself into the Eagle River. Most bodies that wind up in there are lost forever. So, what do you have to say now, Feeny?
Godot's ringtone. Oops. Sorry, that's my phone. Oh yeah, gotta listen to this song. Godot's got a bass ringtone. Yeah. What kind of ringtone is that? Godot here. Okay, thanks.
Was it something important?
They just finished removing the rocks from the sacred cavern. That's great! What about Maya? There was a woman in the cave. My throat, I'm starting to get phlegmy.
Was it Maya Fey?
It was the accused, Sister Iris. Huh?
Don't look so surprised. I locked her in there yesterday. I just got finished telling you that.
So, what about Maya? Where is she? There was no one else found in the sacred cavern. No! It can't be!
I told you, didn't I? She's dead.
No. No! And then Godot spoke up. Good job, Wright. You are a true man. You are a man among men.
It seems that this case has come to an end. A tragic end. Sadly, it appears the killer of Elise Dosim, also known as Missy Fey, was her own daughter, Maya Fey. Overcome with guilt for what she had done, Maya Fey jumped to her death into the raging waters of Eagle River.
It can't be! Ha! Right? Have you ever heard this one? Want to eliminate the impossible? Whatever remains must be the truth. Yeah, you know that, right? I came up with it. Your mentor stole it from me, and she gave me no credit. You know how it feels, right? To know that your sayings are being plagiarized by your students, no matter how improbable it may seem.
What is that supposed to mean, Prosecutor Godot?
According to this witness, Maya Fey threw herself into the Eagle River. However, is that really the truth? Remember, this woman testified earlier that the bridge was already on fire when the murder was taking place in the garden, which means that Maya had thrown herself into the river. It must have been from the inner temple side near the bridge.
That's right. That's where she jumped from.
But that's impossible. It's impossible to jump into the river from there. What? Don't get your panties all twisted up tonight. Just relax and think about the whole thing again. So it's impossible. Maya couldn't have thrown herself into the Eagle River. You know why, Phoenix! You saw the case!
Miss Hawthorne claims Miss Faye threw herself into the river at the temple side. Do you have any evidence that refutes this claim?
Just want to make sure. It's impossible to jump into the Eagle River from the inner temple side. No one knows that better than this witness. Literally, wow, how could Dahlia make that mistake?
What'd you say?
11 years ago, you jumped into the very same river. Just take a look at this overhead map. As you can see, below the cliff on the inner side is a big rock shelf.
Oh, oof! You're right.
She wouldn't have reached the river if she had jumped off from there. In other words, if she had jumped, we would have been able to see her body in this photo. Ha! So you have finally figured it out.
You. No!
Order!
You're just playing with me. Maya's at the bottom of Eagle River. There's nowhere else she could have been hiding.
Miss Hawthorne, have you ever heard this one before? Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Come on! Why does everyone steal my sayings? Even when I'm right in the room!
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Yes, thank you, Dolly. Maya Faye wasn't inside the sacred cavern. We now know that she didn't throw herself into the Eagle River. Correct. That eliminates all the most likely possibilities. Now, although it seems improbable, there's still one other place she could be.
What? What is this one possibility that you're talking about?
That's obviously a bluff. So where's her dead body then?
I'm sorry if my Dahlia voice is messed up. Finally, I think the pieces are falling into place. Normally the living have no way to punch the dead, but I think there is a way to give Dahlia Hawthorne the ultimate punishment. Sending her back to hell. Shall I tell you, Miss Hawthorne? Shall I tell you where Maya is in this very instance? Maya Faye? It's in this very courtroom. There's only one possibility left. Namely, she's right here in this very courtroom.
What?
Maya Faye is here.
You say she's here in my courtroom?
Dahlia Hawthorne, I seem to recall that you said I had misunderstood one thing, you see.
So what?
But I think there's one more thing you misunderstood.
What do you mean?
Tell me something. At this very moment, who is channeling Dahlia Hawthorne?
Why, that's obvious. It's Pearl Faye. That pathetic little sniveling runt.
Seriously, you haven't looked at your hair color, Dahlia? You're wrong. Pearl's tried, but she couldn't do it.
I never failed at channeling someone. This is the first time it's happened.
Isn't there an explanation for why you couldn't channel a spirit?
It could happen if someone else was already channeling the same spirit. Someone called me before Pearl did? But who?
Pearl's even tried again on the day after the crime, but she couldn't do it. What could that mean? I think the truth is becoming clear to you right about now. Am I correct? It wasn't Pearl that channeled you. There was someone who channeled you before she called you before she could. This is an easy one. Pearls couldn't do it, and Misty Faye is gone. There's only one possibility left.
Come on, now, Ray. I can't stand the tension.
That's why I didn't end the episode off. I'm keeping this twist in full context of this episode. Dahlia Hawthorne, the person channeling you right now must be Maya Faye.
What?
But how could that be? Remember what this witness, Dahlia Hawthorne, said about her goal?
She said that her goal was to kill Maya Faye.
Yes, that's right. But Maya channeled the spirit of someone that was trying to kill her.
Ha! Well, Gramps, what would happen?
Could it be?
It looks like you're finally understanding, Your Honor.
Well, I don't. What are you going on about?
Oh, I swear, going to the Maggie voice. What I'm going on about is the reason Maya channeled you, and there's only one reason: to protect herself from you.
To protect yourself? From me?
Yes. On the night of the crime, you were only interested in one thing. Kill Maya Fey. The path to your temple was closed off and there was nowhere for her to run. So then the problem began. Where would be the safest place to hide?
You mean that's when she channeled me?
Oh, all along you thought you had been channeled by pearls. That's why it never occurred to you. Now Maya's hiding place was you!
No, don't say that! You're saying that I was played for a fool by that little whelp? Maya Fey killed herself, isn't it obvious?
Sorry, but no. It would have been impossible for her to jump into the Eagle River. This was the only avenue of escape open for Maya. The only way that Maya could disappear from the Air Temple.
I don't believe you. A stupid little girl like that who has never been out in the real world? She could never have come up with a plan like that. Who could have ever given her such a brilliant idea?
Well?
Me, of course. I'm back, B!
Mia?
Mia Fey.
It's been a
long time, Dahlia Hawthorne.
So it's true. It was you.
Yes.
Ha! You're something else.
But what? What are you doing here?
That hair. It's pearls, right?
Tell me something, Dahlia. Did you always suck this much? I want you to think back to that night one more time. You had just cornered Maya in the Air Temple's garden, and then, in the final moments of the fight, you lost consciousness. I was stabbed by Maya Fey! Actually, Maya lost consciousness at the same time as you.
She did?
Not terribly surprising since she was about to be killed.
When she woke up, she was in the training hall. That's when Maya decided she needed help. So she channeled me. She explained in a memo the situation she was in. She asked me what I thought she should do. She did that? I can't believe it! Of course, I didn't have all the details, but one thing was perfectly clear.
And that was?
I knew that you couldn't be allowed to wander free.
Free? What do you mean?
It was a race against time, so I wrote down 2 things that Maya had to do. Channel Dahlia Hawthorne as soon as possible, and lock herself in the sacred cavern until help arrived.
So it was Maya who put that lock on there.
Yes, but why didn't you order her to do those 2 things?
If she hadn't done it, Dahlia Hawthorne would have been channeled by someone else. By one Pearl Fey! Pearl would have ruined us all!
But pearls?
Yes, Pearl didn't probably understand the plan, so all she was trying to do was following her mother, Morgan Fey's instructions. If she had succeeded in channeling Dahlia Hawthorne's spirit, things would have been turned out very badly, to put it mildly.
So that's how it was. Dahlia Hawthorne would have used the body of Pearl Fey to kill Maya at all costs, and then she would have went on a rampage and destroyed everything. She would have crushed mountains, pulverized buildings, snapped people in half like Slim Jims.
Yes, it certainly sounds like that was the intent all along.
How dare you! I won't forget this.
Why not just admit, Dahlia Hawthorne? Your little plan was nothing but a big failure.
Yes, another failure to add to the pile of shame, wouldn't you say? What do you mean by another?
Think about it, Dahlia. Remember all your past crimes? Not a single one of them was a success. They all ended in failure. Well, except murdering Valerie. That one succeeded. She killed Valerie pretty easily. Valerie's spirit just...
Am I a joke? Am I a joke to you, Phoenix?
What? How dare you? 11 years ago? The fake kidnapping. Your very first crime. You got your hands on a $2 million diamond, but... After Terry Falls escaped and went to meet with Dahlia Hawthorne, the truth was exposed.
Shut your mouth! That wasn't my fault! It was because of that stupid oaf of a prisoner and that weakling of a policewoman!
And then, 1 year later, you tried to kill me! Well, I'm still alive, but... You wound up killing someone else. As a result, you were sentenced to death. It's one stupid move after another for you, but it's no longer funny. You wipe that smug, happy-go-lucky smile off your face. And now this! You messed up again! You let Maya Fey escape, even though she was right there in front of you!
Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Mia Fey!
You spinster! I was supposed to kill Maya Fey like I swore I would! And if only I'd gotten if only you'd gotten this spiky-haired jerk the guilty verdict, I wouldn't have been hanged to death! I would have had a life, and he would have been put down because he thinks that girls don't poop!
True. That's so true. But I think you finally understand, Dahlia Hawthorne. You will never defeat me.
What? What did you say?
Whether you're alive, dead, or somewhere in between, you will never defeat me. Now take this noose. Now take the noose and do yourself in again. Do us all a favor and kill yourself, Dahlia. As long as I'm around, you're destined to lose for all eternity.
I remember what you said earlier in this trial. You said there was no way we could punish you, because you were already dead. What about it? Then you said, even when the body dies, the spirit, the ego, it lives on forever.
That's very true, Dahlia. And that's exactly the punishment you'll never be able to escape from. For all of eternity, you will have to remain as Dahlia Hawthorne, a miserable, pathetic, weak creature who can never win at anything. And for you, there is no escape from that, no hope of freedom. Since the day you were executed, the narrow bridge that once stretched out in front of you has burned to a crisp.
You are wrong. It can't be. How could I lose the likes of you? It no longer matters. I don't care whether you win or lose anymore. The only thing I want is for you to come out of Maya's body right now. The power of Edgeworth compels you. I don't want to hear the screaming in my ears. Okay, I'm back. Like I said, I didn't want to hear a scream effect in my ears. You know how I am. I'm not ready to go. Yes, flashbacks.
Nick! Sis, I want burger! Give me burger!
Now then.
I think now is a good time to end things off. I really appreciate these are going to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. If you go back to the next one, if you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye.